It got attacked by Mothra.
Are you? Oh my gosh! It's BourbonBlog's.com live, and it's Matty Rock. We join you every week here on a Saturday night, and we are starting here on BourbonBlog.com live. Even if maybe it said we were supposed to start later, but we are starting now. So thanks for telling all your friends. We are here with very special guest, Chef Robert Austin Cho, barbecue chef extraordinaire and owner of Kimchi Smoke in Westwood, New Jersey. How's it going tonight,
doing
guys?
Great. How you doing?
Doing fabulous, and thanks so much for joining us, Chef. It's
Absolutely
a real pleasure. And I will say this before we start. I know we've seen you on Food Network. We've seen you a lot of places over the years. I think it might have been put out there earlier today that you beat Bobby Flay, and in Matty Rock's opinion, you did, but you actually, we want to make sure we clarify you did.
Yes, right? I did face him, but he got the best of me that day.
Yeah. All right. So, but we have seen you on Beat Bobby Flay, and again, in some judges' opinions, obviously you're always a winner. But man, tell us about the Kimchi Smoke and what's been happening with you, man.
Yeah, so Kimchi Smoke, we started here in Westwood 4 years ago, and ever since the COVID-19 pandemic, things were a little bit rough and unsure in the beginning, and I didn't even know if I was going to continue to be open. I'm very scared. You read the news, hear the news. But things have been going pretty strong lately. We do a lot of takeout, and the people have been really great supporting us. So I'm really just thankful that we're able to sustain the business, and I got most of my staff back. So things are pretty good right now.
That's good to hear. And again, Kimchi Smoke specializes in what?
We do a Southern Korean barbecue, mainly Texas barbecue with some Korean flavors, but still more about the low and the slow.
The low and the slow. What's the favorite thing that he cooks for you, Matty? What do you like to have from?
Oh God! If you ever wanted to cut bacon with a spoon, he knows. I'll go in there. Normal people do quarter pound of bacon, half a pound of bacon. I may or may not do a pound of bacon just for myself. His bulgogi is off the hook goodness. His brisket is fantastic. And dude, even the little stuff that you don't think about, the banana pudding. He laughs because I'm like, yo, do you have a tub of banana pudding? So honestly, I probably gain about 8 pounds every time I go there. I mean, the way that we met is kind of funny. So our mutual friend and mutual respect, our colleague who's gone, is God rest his soul, the Cuban Ruiz. He goes, Matty, I got to tell you, I've heard that there's the best barbecue place in the planet. We're going on a road trip. I'm like, Carl, I can't take days off to go on a road trip. He's like, no, asshole, it's close. It's really close. I'm like, you got to do better. You got to do better with close. He's like, knucklehead, it's in your neighborhood somewhere around there. Kimchi Smoke, we got to go. I'm telling you. And I'm like, sold. So we went up about 2.5, 3 years ago to meet with Robert. And like I said, from traveling, spending literally 30 years on the road. I hear barbecue. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's great. Barbecue. Awesome. I'm like, eh. So I went in there and I got my ass handed to me and proved wrong because Chef was just ridiculous. I mean, not is he just a great dude, but the food, I mean, to make me a believer where I could look people in the eye and mean it and say, hey, man, this is legit barbecue with Chef's own little flavor on it. And it's, dude, it's amazing. And again, it just shows you what you can do in such a little state. You have the right people doing the right things. And in my less than humble opinion, when it comes to food, he'll give anybody out there the go around for it. It's that good. And, I brought my friend, when I bring people in there, these are guys that are like, all right, I was just in Texas, Matt. I'm like, no, you trust me. That's why you're here, right? And you see, they come back to you, Robert. They come back.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Because it's, like I said, when you're here, Tom, it's an amazing experience. And anybody that's out there in my neck of the woods, I'm telling you, you get the opportunity to cruise on by. I mean, call me first so you can treat me to some bacon. You got to check it out. It's just that good. So look up Kimchi Smoke in Westwood.
Thank you.
So what do you do to this bacon that makes it so special that Matty loves so much? What's the
Well, it's the pork belly, and I smoke it until it's really tender. Then I let it chill down, then we slice it, then we reverse sear it, and we put our special gochujang glaze on it to give it a little Korean flair, and just it melts in your mouth. Nothing like it.
Literally melt.
So it's a fusion of cultures. It's the Korean flair, but it's also some things that you bring that are very special to it.
Yes, definitely.
Excellent. And what was the other? Did you say what was the other favorite you had, Matty?
Korean dish known as bulgogi. And Robert has his own little special spin on it, and absolutely amazing. Another thing that I could sadly say I can go through a pound of in a sitting.
Yeah.
Which I every time I get it, there's no such thing as a small. Order for 3 and I just eat it. Like I said, his brisket stands up with any of the other top dogs that are out there. Then he has stuff you can't get anywhere else. I'll let Robert tell you, like the Cho nut.
The Cho nut.
The Cho nut. He'll tell you. Freaking awesome. Of course, if you eat more than 2 of those, you're going to do a freaking coma. Just happening. You're going to sit in the corner and drool. So, get your elastic pants ready.
So what's the special flair you bring to this famous Korean dish? Then what's the special thing you do with it?
Well, the special thing is that I like to pride myself on being balanced. So we got our smoked brisket, which is very savory. We put the bourbon chipotle sauce. We put smoked kimchi and cheese, bacon. So we got a little salty. We got savory, we got oozy, and then we put it inside of a donut. It's called a Cho nut, and when you eat it, all these flavors just hit you, and I call it the life-changing Cho nut.
It's a Cho nut. So this is like what we know as like the cronut, or what is the Cho nut?
Well, yeah, so the Cho nut, instead of a donut, it's I'm putting myself inside the donut, everything about me, and all goodness.
Yeah, you gotta follow his hashtag. Let my people Cho.
Cho,
right there, right?
yes.
Let my people Cho. You got that. Let my people Cho. So follow that hashtag, and you'll get to check out all these awesome dishes that Chef's preparing.
Lots of people that are big fans of Chef Cho watching. If you have any questions for Chef Cho, ask them down below on Facebook, YouTube, tweet back to us on Twitter, and definitely share this video on your social. We're always happy to be bringing you this here on BourbonBlog's.com live every Saturday night with our Cigar Saturday. And Matty, what do you have there? What are you smoking on?
You and I were on the same page again. We did a little Pappy Van Winkle action today.
The Pappy Van Winkle. It's quite a special cigar. And the leaves have actually, some of those tobacco leaves are actually fermenting in the used Pappy barrels.
Correct. So that's what gives it its distinct and unique flavor. And then, of course, you have a little bit of that fire-cured tobacco in there as well. So you have those subtle hints of the sweetness from a curing in the liquor. Then you have that smokiness that we've all come to enjoy from, that Kentucky fire-cured tobacco. So you're just not going to get another stick that's really anywhere close to the flavor profiles you're going to get out of this. And as I've said before, when we spoke to him on the show before, this isn't going to put anyone on their butt who doesn't smoke cigars regularly. It's medium. I wouldn't even say medium, Paul. I'd call it a dead medium. You're not going to wake up 2 hours later and call me and curse me out. And, hey, thanks, Matt. I pooped myself from this really strong cigar. There'll be none of that, I promise. But it's not super easy to find. So if I don't say that it's your go-to cigar, sorry, there's mosquitoes here beside the condos. Holy crap. This one is almost flew away with me. But,
you have to look around for this one. I love this Pappy Van Winkle cigar. It's very special smoke. Chef, I understand you're a single malt fan when it comes to whiskeys.
Yes. I don't. For some reason, the single malts just I guess they don't hit me as hard the next day. I don't know. They're smooth, and so when I drink, that's what I would like to drink. Yes.
Is that something you like to pair with some of your dishes, some of your Korean barbecue? Is it something that you pair, or do you have any drinks you like to pair with the barbecue?
I mean, I'd like to pair more of. I'm more a beer drinker.
Yep.
So I mean, but I do have a bourbon chipotle sauce, so the slight smokiness from the bourbon goes nice with the chipotle and the barbecue sauce. So you get a little hint of it.
So, tell us about the bourbon sauce. How do you make that? That sounds exciting.
Yeah. So it's like a ketchup-based sauce, but I put a little bourbon, just to get a little smoky flavor, a little alcohol. I don't know if you really could taste it, but definitely when I tell people bourbon chipotle sauce, they get really excited, and it's definitely a good draw. You know, everyone likes bourbon.
I could imagine that a ketchup-based sauce, a little bit of bourbon. Is there a particular bourbon you use, or kind of whatever you find, or?
Yeah, I mean, I go through a lot of it, so I can't like put in like I guess top-notch bourbon, but you know, whatever I could get at that moment. But yeah, you know, it really depends.
Oh, when I come see you, I'll bring some. I'll bring some really rare bourbon. We'll put it in the sauce just for fun.
Okay, absolutely.
They'll be like, you know what? We put some really expensive bourbon. Just, I mean, it's really you do it, but just to say we can do it because I have access to a little bourbon. You know?
Okay.
But no, well, no, it sounds like an amazing sauce. So actually, what are you guys sipping on anything? What are you sipping on right now? You guys sipping on, Matty? What are you sipping on?
Today, everyone's going to be a little disappointed. Today is just some Starbucks green tea, the amount of coffee that I had today. So if I added another soda to that, I'd be chasing squirrels that are chasing cars kind of thing. So I'm like, let me level down as we go into the evening so I don't start running after things. So, and honestly, you know, green tea probably not the best thing to mix with a Pappy Van Winkle, but instead of me talking faster than Kennedy for tonight's broadcast, I decided to tone it down.
Having some Jefferson's Jefferson's Reserve Twin Oak Custom Barrels from our friends at Jefferson's. They partnered with Independent Stave Company and made a very special custom barrel for this bourbon. So having a little of that, I got a little of the Jefferson's Ocean back there, and we're having some fun. So now you, Chef, we've seen you quite a few times, as we were mentioning earlier, on Food Network. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of chefs that are very talented that are, you know, that they're like, how do I get on Food Network? How does that happen to a chef? How do you get discovered? How did that whole process first happen?
Well, I guess either, you know, they could find you, or, you know, sometimes they send emails, and if you want to be in it, so they have like an open roll call, and then you say you're interested, and then you go through a lengthy interview process, you know, resume application, and you go through many rounds, and you know, I think they screen you, so it's quite complicated. And then once you finally get in, then you're in. And even during, I mean, maybe even the week before, they say it's not even a guarantee, right? So they put you in limbo for maybe like 3-4 months.
Wow. So even the week of, it's like this may or may not happen, but a lot of for you, it did.
Yes, I mean, when they send the photographer to do the like a promo shoot, then you know it's most likely locked in, but it's still not 100% you're going to be on the show until, you know, that week they tell you, you know, come into New York and we'll send you a car.
Right on. So with the Beat Bobby Flay episode you were on, what was the special ingredient? Tell us about what happened.
Well, yeah, in the first round, you know, I was very scared about the first round. You know, I'm more of a barbecue guy, so I was like, what are they gonna give me? You know, they might give me like zucchini or I don't know, kale or some really weird ingredient. But then, you know, they gave me a cowboy ribeye steak, and I was ecstatic. I'm like, I can work with that, you know. So I made some carby tacos with that, and from that round I won. And then, you know, it's predetermined what I will make as my secret dish. So I made a version of my Cho nut, but it was a Monte Cristo. I mean, I couldn't bring my smoked brisket, so I had to do like a modified Cho nut, like a French toast sandwich. So for that one, we used fried chicken. We use for Jersey, we use Taylor ham. We use kimchi cheese on like a French toast bread.
Wow. And what did Bobby Flay make?
Well, yeah, he made more of a traditional Monte Cristo. I mean, but you know, I guess, you know, I think he executed it slightly better. I feel like it's his kitchen. He knows everything, and you know, one mistake and then you're not going to beat this guy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if anybody's ever broken down the percentage of time he actually wins. It may be pretty high though. I don't, because I've wondered that myself watching it.
Yeah, I mean, he probably wins at least 75% of the time, I would think.
Yeah, it can go both ways, but yeah. And now have you been back on Food Network or any other places since then? Have you been doing any other judging or?
Not as of lately, especially with the whole shutdown, things
Right.
have been really slow, but I've been waiting to get um, you know, to get a rematch. Hopefully I could get a rematch with this guy.
Because the rematches do happen from time to time, right?
They do, yes.
We would love to see you on a rematch, and we'll definitely
I think I got to start trash talking to help it happen. So
Matty may work on this.
Talk some smack. I'll be like, dude, think the shit was rigged.
So that with your place there, Kimchi Smoke, how did you get that place started? What was that process like, and when did you guys start that place?
This place started in 2016, and it was actually an expansion of my first place. I was in Bergenfield, New Jersey, and that was a really small place, like maybe seat about 6 people if we were lucky. And then here in Westwood, we could seat about 40 people if we're at capacity. But I didn't really come from a real chef background. I was in real estate, and then I just slowly did my thing. So I just took everything low and slow, and luckily I'm still here, still doing my thing.
So you were doing real estate. This was more of a kind of a weekend thing you did, or how did that unfold?
Yeah, it was a weekend thing, and then I would do like street festivals and things like that to see if people would buy my barbecue, because I thought it was pretty good. But I have to say, people have to actually buy the stuff, or I'm just like, you ask your friends, they'll be like, yeah, it's good, but they have to pay for it. So that was my real test to see if people would shell out some money.
That's incredible. Again, you're watching. If you're just joining, I see quite a few people just joining us now. It's
giving him my wallet.
Oh, there you go. He wants to.
Yeah.
It's
it's good.
Chef Robert Austin Cho, Kimchi Smoke in Westwood, New Jersey, and many other great things he's done in the world of cuisine. Ask any questions you have down below, or tweet back to us. If there was only one food that you could prepare every day, or one dish you could do every day, what's your favorite dish to do?
My favorite dish is Korean short ribs, harbi. It's similar to what Matty was talking about, the bulgogi, which is like a thinly sliced ribeye, but I like the short rib that's like flanking cut with marinated with like a soy sesame sweet sauce, and I could eat that all day long.
That sounds really good, and that's a specialty there on your menu as well.
Well, as a special item, like this week I do have it, and I've been promoting it on Instagram, and like today we sold quite a bit of it. That's my favorite dish.
That's incredible.
Got some giant ribs. So
the giant rib.
You have a street fight with somebody with one of those ribs. And here's what you wouldn't expect. I'm a guy who likes his lobster rolls. I just patiently wait when he has lobster rolls as special. They're like, first, Matty, you got to tell us that to get barbecue in New Jersey. I'm like, correct. They're like, now you're telling us lobster roll. I'm like, have I been wrong yet? Just go and get the damn lobster roll. So.
Now, is there something? What do you do? Something like a unique twist on lobster roll, or is it more of a traditional style? Or
it's more of a traditional style, more of a New England style, mayo base. But I like to use Duke's mayo. I believe that's the best tasting mayo. I know
mayo.
Chef Carl's a big fan of Duke's, and it just takes it over the top.
And most chefs I talk to do love and I love it too, the Duke's mayo. What is it about the Duke's that is so special? Because it is really good.
It's it doesn't have too many chemicals. If you look at the ingredients, I mean, the number one ingredient is egg and egg yolk. So you're getting a lot of egg flavor, no preservatives. It's just a little vinegar. I mean, it just got the right balance of that, acidity with the egg. So it's perfect.
Dukes and Blue Plate are definitely my special. Like Hellman's is the United States staple, but to me, those two are it'd be Dukes and then Blue Plate.
Yeah.
It gets closer to being that real like homemade mayonnaise flavor. I love the Dukes. I think the Dukes comes from Atlanta. It's a Southern mayonnaise, and it just makes everything that much better. All right, question from our buddy Pete. Pete, watching. Thanks for watching, Pete. Robert, why would you call New Jersey's favorite breakfast meal Taylor ham? Is that an inside joke? I don't know, because I'm not.
It is, and when it's Petey, so Petey's gonna gonna cause some shit. So Petey's a piney, from the Pinelands, so he doesn't really know what it is. Sophisticated guys like Robert and I know that it's Taylor ham. So
It's
it is what it is.
and the Taylor ham is from New Jersey. Is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, Taylor's the brand, so technically it is pork roll. But to me, if I go to a bagel joint, it's like, give me a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. It sounds better than give me a pork roll and cheese.
All right, I see what a conversation happening there. I get to New Jersey some, and Matty's going to promise us to show me around a little more when I get back after the pandemic. But man, I enjoy some good ham. What other kind of any other cuisines you dive into? Just kind of on the side when you're not doing your professional thing. Are there other cuisines that you like to kind of play around in, just to experiment in?
Yeah, I mess around a lot of stuff. Like Matty was saying, I do lobster rolls, and sometimes I feel, why am I doing a lobster roll? I'm a barbecue restaurant, Texas Korean. Now I'm adding. So there's a lot of things I like to do. Whatever I like to eat at the moment. So I mean, if I'm into something, I just try to execute it. I don't even try to put a spin to it. Just first, I just want to execute. Put your, just cook it properly. Put the right amount of seasoning and. So it could be burgers one day. My fried chicken sandwiches I've been doing really well lately. It's called the ODB, Old Dirty Bird. And, at first I was really scared because, people are really into fried chicken. I was like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this differently? And actually, it's a very basic sandwich. I do nothing to it really special, but we just cook it really well. That's what I believe. So I love fried chicken. It's one of my favorite things to eat.
Is there any sort of any tips for doing better fried chicken at home that we might be able to get from you?
Yeah, I would say if you're gonna do fried chicken, definitely marinate it in buttermilk, and then you gotta drop the heat. There's a lot of recipes will say 350 degrees, but you'll burn the chicken before the inside cooks. So we do about 325. You could even go down to about 300. But if you do it too high, 350 is too high to fried chicken. You'll burn it.
Right. And finding fried chicken that's just been done so well can be a true hunt, and yes. That's good to know. That tip from Chef Robert Austin Cho, and joining us from New Jersey. And again, most of what you've been doing since the pandemic, a lot of it's to go, but you do have some outdoor.
Yes. So I don't really encourage it. I'm still trying to, have a family, so just trying to really do the social distancing thing. So but there's people who want to eat outside. They could order to go, and we have tables set outside, and they could sit there, bring their drinks, and just enjoy the meal. Because sometimes people come from far away, and I don't want them to really eat in their cars.
Right, of course. So that's why you have that space out there, which is. So important. As you look at what's happening with restaurants, many restaurants closing or just, going through some real troubles. What do you look at as far as, some hope for the future as far as after the pandemic, or as you look forward to what happens next for your fellow chefs out there?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's really tough. I mean, I know because there are like places that were, if you're a fancy sit-down restaurant and you could sit 200 people, I don't know what they will do if the restaurants don't reopen. I mean, the dining areas, but for smaller places, it's a really good situation right now. So I don't know how long it'll be like this, but luckily, like, was it 2019 was a little bit slower for us, but lately it's picked up. So I don't, it's really hard to say what the future will hold. The election's coming up, and who knows what's going to happen. We don't know if they're going to, the economy is going to get worse. I mean, there's so much uncertainty, so we just take everything, day to day.
But as you were saying, there is something about the smaller restaurants being able to go do the to-go food, having less overhead. There's some real positives about that maybe we hadn't seen until now. And then, so do you see that becoming more popular then, and those people thriving?
Definitely. I think the place, most of my friends are doing, I don't know if anyone's doing worse who's actually, situated to do takeout, or online order apps, I mean, those orders have really picked up. So people who are doing takeout, I think, right now is the time that, our time to shine right now.
Right on, right on. Randy New is asking with the fried chicken. Do you double fry the chicken?
We do not double fry the chicken.
Just one time.
One time. Yeah, the Korean fried chicken is historically or typically double fried, but our ODB is not double fried.
One time fry. Right on. And again, it's Chef Robert Austin Cho and Matty Rock. I'm Tom Fischer. It's Bourbon Blog Live. If you have any questions on cuisine of any kind, especially the kind that Robert is doing at his restaurant, or just really anything, ask it down below. I'm getting some comments. Matty, Robert, are you guys hearing what sounds like kind of a radio echo on your end?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you hearing that too, Matty?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Okay. I think maybe someone's trying to hack our broadcast. I don't know. Maybe it's another podcast. I wasn't sure. Are you hearing that?
Yes, bro. It's anonymous.
It could be, it could be some aliens coming. It could be because they like his barbecue so much.
Yeah, hopefully.
It could just be. Matty, are you a fan of pairing cigars with like smoky barbecue? Do you have any thoughts on what you've done there as far as?
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why we're smoking what we're smoking tonight. So when you get something with that, like I said, that barbecue flavor, whether you have a Kentucky fire cured, you're smoking what we're smoking now in a Pappy Van Winkle, especially with some of the other stuff, because you have that sweetness on the back end with the barbecue sauce. So if you're smoking a Maduro and you get that natural sweetness, it's definitely a great pairing. But the best, in my opinion, of what to pair with pure barbecue is Kentucky fire cured or definitely the Pappy Van Winkles, because that's going to open up, like I said, the sweetness, the hickoryness, the smokiness, and it's really going to jive well with the meal.
Oh yeah, there's the smokiness of this. So many nice sweeter notes, chocolate notes too, but that smokiness of this Pappy, I can see going extremely well with some great barbecue, bringing that out so nicely. I was teasing forward earlier, Chef, and I was telling you I once created a cocktail with barbecue sauce, and I did it as an homage to this festival and it goes a lot of places. It goes to D.C. and Kentucky, and it also stops in Manhattan. It's called the Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue Festival, and I don't know if you've ever been, but it's great festival, tasting festival in Manhattan. So I was speaking about bourbon there one year. And I said, I don't think anyone has ever done a cocktail with all three ingredients. And so I put together a cocktail with a watered down, we kind of made a simple syrup out of barbecue sauce, but really got it more watered down, a little bit of bourbon, and then we finished it off with kind of a beer float, some little honey on there. And I think in a couple of occasions, we actually had like a rib bone that we put in it as a garnishment. It was interesting.
Nice,
it was a real wicked flavor, but it was the first one, as far as I could find, that had ever been done with barbecue beer in one cocktail. So after that, I don't know if I made any cocktails after that. It's pretty good stuff. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen done with barbecue, as far as applications in places that you don't expect?
Craziest things with barbecue? I don't know. I mean, there was someone who did a smoked watermelon.
Smoked watermelon?
Yes.
And so what was in that?
I'm not sure. It was Chef Will from Duck's Eatery in New York. He's a very accomplished barbecuer and chef, and I think he brines the watermelon and then he smokes it. And I would like to try to figure that one out, or try to do that too. I think that sounds really interesting. It sounds really refreshing for the summer. That
does sound really good.
Yeah. Because
grilling fruit is something that I've seen over the years more and more chefs getting into. What have you've done a little of that then with fruit? Have you grilled some fruit?
I mean, at home I do it. Our restaurant doesn't really set up to do like an indoor type of grilling. But we have a smoker. Sometimes I smoke tomatoes and things like that, but not really grilling fruits.
Right. But so I've seen that happen. I've seen them, they put a little, whether there's coconut milk on.
Yeah.
But there's some fruits that would just, I think, probably just burn right up. But I guess it can be low and slow.
Yeah.
And I heard you say low and slow several times. I've talked to pit masters that have talked about low and slow. Tell us your approach to low and slow. Just how slow is it?
Well, I like to go a little bit higher than maybe some low and slow people. Like, when you say low and slow, I think it could range from like 210 degrees to like 225. I like to smoke a little bit higher, like 240 to 250, because I like to have the outside a little bit crustier, crispier, have a nice bark. And I like to joke that's I'm in Jersey, we're in New York. I don't if you smoke too low, it might take you like 18, 22 hours. I'm a busy guy, so I try to wrap it up in like 12 hours max. I don't have 18 hours to smoke something.
And now you know how close to New York City.
Right. But sometimes some chefs go. It's a little faster version of low and slow because you're that close.
New York, New Jersey. Come on. Can we do this a little faster? I don't have time for this. Go. Move.
Now, have you guys, Matty, Robert, have you guys ever done any cooking together? Have you ever put your head together on any dishes, or is it
9 out of 10 times you probably
Mortis Matty?
You don't want me in your kitchen because you want food that'll sell. So it's better. When I had my club, I stewed a little bit, made some food, but very little bit because even the chef is like, I think you'll do better in the front of the house. You go over go find something to do. So my gift is knowing what good food is to eat, and I leave it up to the experts. Kind of like you don't want me fixing your car kind of thing. It'd be like, yeah, your original bill would have been about $1,200, but I tried to make some mods, and now it'll be about $4,000. So I'm going to give you back the car, and you should now go to a professional. So, you learn those things over time. It's like, go with what you know. So
yeah,
he's the professional, so I leave it to him. I would not try to create that bacon or the bulgogi or any of the above, to be honest. So I know where to go. So that's my gift. People are like, how are you in the kitchen? I'm like, oh, I point to other people's kitchens. I want to come to my kitchen.
Yeah, no, what a cool story too, that you started off in real estate and then you broke into something new, and now you're doing what you love on a larger level. Is this something you had always done? Did you grow up cooking? Did you always enjoy being in the kitchen?
Ironically, no. I mean, so when I was doing real estate, I was more on the business end. I thought maybe I would love to own a restaurant, but never really thought of being the chef or the pit master. But when I got into barbecue, it was by watching TV, and then I started going out doing it. And I guess the whole thing was, ever since I was little, I liked playing with fire. So barbecue was just playing with fire and smoke. It's fun, and you drink a beer and you hang out. I mean, it's really great.
And the way you just put it, you saved yourself from a life of arson and setting fires.
Yeah.
So now we know how great this is. Now you're making bacon instead of lighting stuff up on fire.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was hearing Deanna say, or I think you mentioned it too, Matty, the banana pudding there. What makes the banana pudding so special? What do you do with it, or is it a secret? What's the special banana pudding that you're hearing about?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we use fresh whipped cream, so maybe that is the key. But fresh bananas, vanilla wafers, it's just knowing what you're going for. It took like several attempts, but we got a good recipe and people seem to like it, so I'm not changing it.
Sometimes, no matter what it is, and I found this often with amazing chefs like yourself, it's the simplicity and it's the execution, but keeping things simple, high quality, but just the fewer ingredients, keeping it simple. Is that what you find can be really the winning dish?
Exactly. I mean, you try, with Instagram, people are trying to like make things over the top. I have the Cho nut, which is over the top, but almost everything else I do is very simple. It's about executing, knowing your flavors, seasoning it properly. I mean, those is what makes it, a burger. I mean, you don't have to make a burger over the top, just a burger, a little salt and pepper, maybe some grilled onions, bread. There you go. Fried chicken, just cook it well, brisket, little salt and pepper, and you smoke it until it's done and really tender. I mean, it's not that complicated.
Right. And it's the passion too. I think it's the passion you bring to it, because I can tell you're very passionate about what you do. What fuels your passion for what you do?
Yeah, I mean, I just like doing it, and and I feel like this is one. Like I said, I've done many things in life, and I found something that I'm pretty good at, and here's something that I have a chance to try to be the best at. I may never be the best, but at least every day I go out. Every day is a new day, and every customer's a critic. So I'm just trying to be the best, put out the best food I could possibly put out, and that's what inspires me.
Incredible, incredible. And if you get back on Beat Bobby Flay and you have your chance for the rematch, have
Uh,
you thought about what your special dish will be?
I don't know. Actually, I do want to go back, but I would love to challenge him to. I seen him on one of his shows make a brisket. They're like, hey, let's do something that we could do like an all-day shoot or something. We'll do something smoke related where I could do my thing. That's what I would like to do.
Don't want to give away. He may be watching though. Don't want to give you. He may have a secret dish that'll pull up there.
Uh,
What would your challenge dish be if you were challenging anybody to cook off, Matty? What would yours be?
First and foremost, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But if you put me on a good grill with some filet mignon, like I said, I'm pretty good with my steaks. Kind of what Mr. Cho, Chef Cho said. Nothing crazy. A little bit of olive oil. I like a coating of an aged balsamic on there, and that's it. There's nothing crazy on a steak. So people are doing 900 different things. I'm not looking to redo it. For me, it has to be nice and rare. The second you get past medium rare in a steak, for me, it's over. So I can make more than a passable steak. Like I said, for me, good olive oil, braise it with a little olive oil, and marinate in some balsamic. It. So, well, am I going to beat anybody? Probably not. But most people will eat it and say, no, it didn't suck, and I'd be happy with that. I'd be
People
happy.
always love seeing your food pictures, though. Those food pictures you have always get a lot of likes.
Yeah. You get, like I said, you got to know quality food. And I've been around. Luckily, I've been blessed to be around great chefs. Unfortunately, I haven't learned how to do anything they do. But when you're around them long enough, you know what quality food is. You know what quality ingredients are. You can see when somebody's passionate about what they do in the kitchen. And that sounds like such a boring and cliche thing to say, but it's not. So I've always thought that somebody who's very, very passionate about what they do in the kitchen definitely is reflected in the type of meals they make. Even food maybe we don't necessarily enjoy eating. I'll try, if somebody's like, Matt, this is the top chef for what they do, I might go outside my usual realm to try something, be like, you know what? You can tell, and I really respect it, and you can tell the quality of the food and the passion's gone behind it, and what the person has done and why they're at the level that they're at. Those are the kind of, like I said, I'm not heavily into Indian food. I don't really enjoy curry much and stuff, but I've had, people like, look, you have to try this person's food, and be like, I stand corrected. This was amazing, and you can tell the passion was there in the food. The flavor was all there, and for somebody like me, and like I said, I'm using that as an example. I'd eat it again for somebody who typically doesn't eat something that's heavy or rich in curry in the food. That's my take on it from the guy from the outside looking in. And again, that you probably more than likely don't want me in your kitchen. Although I do make a killer pesto. That I could do.
Killer what?
Killer pesto sauce.
Pesto.
So if anyone wants to have a pesto throwdown with me, and the second you use cream, I'll disqualify it. That's the thing in the United States that people love. You do that in Italy, you hear, oh, fangool, tuzibox, fugazi. Everybody's trash talking you. You ask anybody who's off the boat Italian about a cream and a pesto sauce, they just kind of look at you and like, tuzibox. They're not happy. So, it could be the next pesto throwdown. That's something I feel fairly confident.
Pesto. Have you tried his pesto sauce?
I have not. He's got to bring me some next time.
I have to go bring some in. Now I'll know if it's good. I'll know if it's good the next time I walk in. Right before I walk in, there's a sign that says no bacon or no bulgogi. I'll be like, well, that was clearly a sign how my pesto was.
Chef, where your restaurant, what you do, where can people find you on social media or online? Where's the best place for them to follow and find what you do?
Yeah, so Instagram and Facebook and all outlets, we're at Kimchi Smoke. My chef page is at Robert Austin Cho, but you could just check us out, follow us, please. I would appreciate it, and look forward to getting some new followers from this.
Kimchi Smoke and at Robert Austin Cho.
There you go.
I see you like what I like about your Instagram. You post a lot of great videos too. I mean, you really love doing the videos.
Yeah, it's fun, and that definitely, I think Chef Carl, I met him only a couple times, but watching his videos for like a year or 2 years definitely inspired me. Just watching him, and I mean, he influenced me in a lot of ways, and definitely the videos is, I definitely attribute an influence to him. And so I've been doing more videos.
Nice, nice. They're really great. Definitely follow Chef Cho, Kimchi Smoke, and also at Robert Austin Cho. And I can't wait to get to New Jersey and spend some time with you. I'll bring you some really nice single malts, and I'll bring you some. We'll bring you like an unexpected bourbon we can put in that ketchup and barbecue sauce. I think it'll be fun. Maybe we'll do a video about what really rare bourbon we put in there, just to see what people say. To make them cringe a little bit about. Look, because some people we get some rare bourbon, they'll be like, "Oh, just have it by itself." But no, we gotta put it with some of your barbecue.
Okay, awesome.
I like the idea of doing that. So again, follow Chef Cho down below, and make sure you watch us every week right here. I will say this: if you're watching me, and you've been watching for a while, you know that I do some whiskey tastings, virtual whiskey tastings, and usually I'm on the road hosting virtual whiskey tastings, but right now I'm doing them privately, virtual tastings, and just this past week we put up several on Eventbrite where you can actually come here in a few weeks, watch me do the tasting, and I can help you get the whiskey through some little minis through what's called Shots Box. So if you guys are interested in being part of those, shoot me an email. I'll send you the Eventbrite link, or just look on Eventbrite for Bourbon Blog. You'll find what we're doing. We're doing some amazing tastings. We're going to start doing those twice a week now, and we can even partner. Well, we partnered to send some little minis to you to have some little mini tastes of whiskey. What are you most looking forward to then as things get opened back up, Chef? Whether it's food wise, I know this has done a lot of things for restaurants. Obviously, you being a small restaurant, you guys are doing well, but as far as what you usually do as a chef, what are you looking forward to about the future?
Well, yeah, I mean, I do a lot of outdoor events. I mean, those, you see lots of people. I really feed off the energy. When people get to sample my barbecue, my brisket for the first time. So, I mean, those are the things I really miss. Is just those big food festivals where we all get together, and you got a bunch of chefs. You got maybe some bourbon, some beer, and some food, and thousands of people. I don't know, even if they scale it down, it's just just the energy from the people. That's the one thing I miss the most.
Yes. Yeah. No, I miss the restaurant shows, the festivals, the whiskey festivals, but also just this week we were supposed to have a restaurant show in Los Angeles that I was going to speak at that got canceled. They did a little bit virtually, but I missed that too. And hopefully at some point we can get with the chefs, the people from whether it's the cigar world, the whiskey world, and we can all be together.
Yeah, definitely.
Very soon. I know, Matty, you're missing several whiskey or cigar events, right?
Oh yeah, I can't tell you how many of them have been canceled. Just as literally last week, hours before we did the show, the last show that had still had hoped to go on was Cigar Fest out in the Poconos. And I knew. I was just waiting for the official email. You can't have over 2 days, over between people attending and staff. You're talking about 6,000 people. So that's probably the largest cigar event in the United States. So I was like, there's no way you're going to be able to pull off having 6,000 people over 3 days in an event. And that brings me to the topic too. So everybody who's listening, remember, both of these guys to my right and left, when COVID lifts up, we're all about doing private parties, doing catering. So keep that in mind. You have questions to ask them. Like I said, Tom's got, for those of you, if this is just a few times that you've been tuning in, he has almost 2 decades of bourbon and spirits knowledge. So you definitely want to reach out. If you're doing a restaurateur kind of event, if you're doing a cigar event, you're working on doing pairings and everything, And then, of course, you have Robert. You reach out to Robert, and then you'll be able to get him to do a show out with you. Usually, I think we lost Robert. Oh.
We'll put his info up there one more time. There's how to follow Chef Robert Austin Cho, the barbecue chef extraordinaire. And it's such a pleasure having you join us, Chef. Thank you for joining us tonight. Can you still hear us, Chef?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I think we may not have video of you, but we can hear you too. And it means a lot to have you joining us. Can't wait to see you at Kimchi Smoke in New Jersey. And everybody, if you're getting in the New Jersey in the Westwood area, go check out Kimchi Smoke. Amazing place. And Matty, thank you again. This has been a lot of fun tonight, having some of the Pappy cigars from Drew Estate there. A little bit more limited, but they can find these. Where can they usually find these, Matty?
So now there's two places. When it first came out, you'd have to go to papaco.com.
Right.
And then Drew Estate and Pappy worked something out. So now if you go online, you will find there are some brick and mortar shops that do have it. So first thing, especially during these horrible times, do yourself a favor and your local business a favor. Do the best you can and see if your local business, local cigar shop can get a hold of them. If not, then you can either go to papaco.com or some of the larger places like Cigars International and Famous Smoke and people like that. If you're local to me and you're in the Jersey area, I guess we've had on, you'll be able to find it at Stancha Smoke Shop. Stancha carries them. But like I said, they're not made in massive quantities. But again, give your brick and mortar the first shout out and opportunity, especially during these times, to be able to sell some sticks. If not, or if you're really dumbfounded and it's tough to find them, reach out to me and I'll see what I can do to help you find them.
Look for Matty Rock, and definitely join us next week here on BourbonBlog.com/live when our guests will be who, Matty?
Dude, everybody wants to know, Matt, where does that giant badass Bluetooth bump come from? So you know what we're gonna have? We're gonna have bump box. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So you're going to have and like I said, you can tell by my hat, by my music, by everything. I like my 80s and my 90s stuff. So.
Oh yeah,
can go kid.
The Kangol Kid, baby. So we're gonna have Bump Box show up. They just created a new product. I didn't even get my hands on it. It sold out like that. So they actually took a mold from an 80s pager, an exact mold, and created a little USB speaker out of the mold. So now your choices are literally for something yay big, pager size.
tiny.
I'm believing it's 10 watts, maybe 12 watts, all the way up to they have the Uprocks, which is 1100 watts. And to give you the idea of the quality, the power of this, we used the 550s, and anyone who's been at Cigar Fest with me knows. So we get the upstairs at Cigar Fest. So our 550, which is the Freestyle version 3, we actually had to turn it down. So it blasted loud enough, not full volume, through thousands of people. So the fidelity is there. You can go Bluetooth. You can hook up auxiliary. You could drop in a USB drive. I mean, just really, really cool stuff. When I first saw it, I'm like, this is a really, really cool gimmick. And then when you find it, you learn real fast it's not a gimmick. The sound is super impressive. And I just loved it. And like I said, especially for a guy like me. I was a guy who had the Lasonic boombox.
I remember I had one too. Yeah.
I have no problems with telling everybody that, who is that guy? I was like, no, I was that guy. They're like, with the Kangol hat, listen to the Beast or Run DMC or Public Enemy. It's like, yep, had to be done. I had to do it. So they're going to jump on. They're going to give you an idea of the whole product line, obviously even better than I could do it. And like I said, dollar for dollar, gonna kind of be hard to beat. The fidelity is there, the quality. They're loud. I hate just saying they're loud. Loud doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's loud with quality. So I think it's going to be a fun show, and we'll have a blast. And the week after that, we will have award-winning blues singer Miss Laura Cheadle. We got a couple of fun ones in the pipe for sure.
A lot of great stuff coming up. You can check out the schedule of all the upcoming guests on BourbonBlog.com live. And if you are interested in our upcoming tastings, somebody asked me down below, our upcoming virtual tastings with me that you can come into are going to be on the first two on September 11th and 13th. So drop me a line. I can get you access and information on those. And Chef Cho, thank you again.
Yes, you're welcome.
Really a pleasure to have you as a guest. Can't wait to get to New Jersey and try some of your special dishes. Thank you so much for being with us. And thanks to all who have been watching. Please continue to like this, share this. If you got here midstream, it is up permanently wherever you watched it or on BourbonBlog.com live. Cheers, everybody, and stay well. Cheers.
Much love, guys. Be good.
All right. Thanks.
Guys.
See ya.
All right.